I want to be 100% honest with you guys. That's generally what I've tried to do with this channel. I've never tried to bend the truth in any way. I've never pulled punches, especially on Twitter when it comes to companies. I try and be open and fully honest and just make sure that, you get my honest opinion. When Pico 4 was announced, I'm really excited by the fact that it's a new headset and competition when it comes to standalone headsets and meta. And then when they announced that Just Dance VR was going to be an exclusive to Pico, I really thought that is a statement. That is a big game that I would expect to do really well on a headset, especially a standalone headset. So when they announced that, I really thought they were making some massive moves. Now, obviously, things have happened with Pico, so I'm not really, there's no one, especially the people who worked or work for Pico. I want to, just say that they're an amazing company, and I generally think that they're trying to do the best for VR. But to drop the Just Dance title, I think, is a massive loss. And it kind of makes me think, where are they going with the headset? Are we expecting any games that are exclusives? I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work out with the games or the store itself, which then does make me think the Meta Horizon, maybe that is the way to go. But the fact now that Just Dance has been announced and advertised as coming to Meta, the Meta Quest 3, I don't know if it's coming to the Meta Quest 2. That doesn't seem to be, that'd be interesting. The fact that it's coming to the Meta Quest 3 or 2 has really got me thinking, it doesn't sound like it's coming to Pico. At all, which is a shame, because the library that they've built is massive. It's up there with the rest of them now, in my opinion. Yeah, it doesn't have the exclusives that Meta has, and it's not gonna, is it? Let's face it. Unless they use Meta Horizon OS, and that's whether Meta want them to use Meta Horizon OS. I still think that's a dodgy way of the way they've worded it to be open source. I honestly don't think it's as open as they're trying to make believe. But when it comes to the future of Pico, it's got me questioning where they're going with this. And I kind of think they're sort of leaning back into PC VR, because that is the other avenue. Now, I've been using the Pico trackers because the new software allows you to be able to link them. And it works. It seems to work with VR chat, which, to be honest, I don't really play that much of. It's not really my type of game. But Blade and Sorcery, I expected it to work with, but I think there's some sort of problem going on with Blade and Sorcery when it comes to trackers anyway. When I'm reading the reports or the community feedback on Steam, generally everyone seems to be having a problem with the Vive trackers. So I don't know whether it's that. They're the two games I've tested. VR chat works perfectly well. It's really good. And that's where I sort of think they seem to be putting a lot of effort when it comes to the Pico Connect software. The new version is insane. And other PC software that they seem to be really delving into. The streaming assistant. All of it looks really good. And is that actually the best way to go about it? The problem with it is that it starts to get to the point where they're not going to be able to keep and compete price-wise when it comes to Meta, just like every other headset. And this also then got me thinking about the prices when it comes to Meta, because at the end of the day, it's with the Quest 3S, I've seen a lot of people saying they don't want to spend £500 on a headset, which I completely understand, and why the Quest 3S will do incredibly well. It will. It'll do better than the Quest 3, in my opinion. I can imagine that it would. I still argue it's going to kill the Quest 3. But then you sort of start to think, well, the standard of headset isn't going to get better. Not really. Pancake will become a luxury, which means, if you've never experienced it, you're not going to spend the money on it. Whereas with the Pico 4, you get the Pancake lenses. I sort of I sort of think that the Quest 3S is gonna hold things back, and why they didn't just lower the Quest 3 price is beyond me. I know they want to try and make some money, but if the main objective is to get people into VR, lower the price of your best headset. Don't release another one. Get people experiencing the best experience, which is why I like the Pico headset so much. It's comfy. The visuals are better than the Quest 2. They'll be better than, I would argue, they'll be better than the Quest 3S. And it's also got me thinking about games as well, because I've been looking at games that have been releasing, and generally the big games don't get budged. When it comes to the Meta Quest, the store, the big games don't seem to move anywhere. I mean, you've only got to look at the top selling games at this current point in time to really realise that. I mean, Asgard's Wrath 2 is number 1 at the moment, with Max Mustard at number 2. Both fairly new games, especially Max Mustard, which is incredible for the studio itself. But then you've got Beat Saber, Blade and Sorcery, a great game, being kept alive, in my opinion, by the mods and the fact that they're going to be releasing the PC VR actual version rather than beta in a couple of weeks' time, which will make that game amazing. It's going to have, from what I gather, story mode as well, which if you've slept on that game, really you need to go and check it out. But then we've got Job Simulator, Among Us VR, which, you know, you sort of think of it as a new game, but it's not anymore. Bone Lab, Thrill of the Fight, and then Waltz of the Wizard, which is a newish game. But then, like, even in the top 20, you've still got Super Hot VR. You know, you've still got Drunken Bar Fight in there, which is great for those games. But the graphical quality of them, especially with something like Job Simulator, where I love that game. I think it's a great game. It's one of the first games that I think I tried when I got the headset. But the graphical quality, do we need a better chip to be able to play that game? No, not really, do we, at the end of the day? Not really. I feel like I've sort of gone off on one there anyway, but my whole point when it comes to the games where, like, the majority of the games are not pushing the Quest 3 to a level that needs to be pushed to, which makes me think, like, the Quest 2 even, like, I know some of the new games are coming out, but are they being played, like, massively? It's one for you guys to think about. But anyway, when it comes to it, I think Pico 4 Store, no matter how big it's got, how many games they've managed to get, I worry about it in the long term because they're not getting any exclusives. And I think that's where PC VR is going to have to come in. And I think maybe that's where the Pico 4S might come in. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of PC support that actually has. But I am generally gutted that Just Dance VR isn't a Pico exclusive. It doesn't even look like it's coming to Pico. Not at this current point in time. I have reached out to the developers, but I haven't had anything back yet. And I will let you know as soon as I do find out. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if you're miffed as well. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.